الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Assalamu alaikum, Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. This is the Imam Ibrahim, Abdul-Rahim with you again, and we're continuing on with our discussion, our talk about Al-Islam, a leadership paradigm. We were wanted to make sure that we had a better understanding of the inherent nobility that Allah created with the human being when He created Adam. When Allah created Adam, Allah says in the Quran, He says, قَدْ كَرَمْنَا كُلِّ بَنِي Adam, that I have dignified, I have made noble and dignified all of the descendants of Adam. And we are all descendants of Adam. And so we have this inherent nobility that Allah created in every one of us. No matter where we are, no matter what we've done, we are still noble creatures. Every last one of you, every last one of us are noble. And Allah created us to be noble, and for us to have dignity, and us to have honor, and for us to have integrity. We have in us what Allah created, an urge for excellence. We have to pray for guidance, to be true to it, and constantly ask Allah to increase us in Iman, in faith, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, while at the same time maintain purity of intention and keep the example of the model human being before us. Allah says in the Quran, "Qad aflaha mu'minun," that the believers must be successful. Prophet Muhammad is reported to have said the believer is one when he takes up an endeavor, he seeks to perfect it. Whenever we involve ourselves in an endeavor, we seek to make it as good, we seek to perfect it, we seek to bring it to the best vantage that we possibly can. This should be our attitude about everything we do. Like other people, we want to be winners. We want to be successful. We want the best we can get out of life. We want to live the life in the best way that we possibly can. That's healthy and that's natural. What Allah revealed along with this teaching from Prophet Muhammad will make us 100% successful. It'll make you 100% successful. Allah says, as we mentioned, we have honored the children of Adam. We carry them on the land and the sea, and we have made provisions of good things for them to eat, and we preferred them above many of those whom we created with marked preferment. This is what Allah says. So let us not let other people and those people of weak faith tell or decide for us. With Al-Islam, the Quran, and the example of Prophet Muhammad, the Muslims are the light of the world. The light of the world is realized in terms of human qualities, not material affluence. There is no doubt that the modern powers have material dominance, but they failed in human qualities. This is what gives the believer the advantage. It's not his material. It's not his material affluence, but it's his human qualities. And his human qualities is what gives the human being, gives the believer stature. To fail in one's humanity is to fail indeed. For what good is to have the world, as they say, but to lose the soul? Allah says, for those who go after the world and make that more important, we can have it, but we'll be denied the hereafter. So let us not follow the ways of the world. As Muslims, we are to be true to humanity. In Muslim countries, you don't see bars on windows, and you don't find proliferation of drugs and unnatural sexual activity. Our children don't show blatant disrespect for their parents. People have been more and more influenced to follow the ways of the world than they ever have. Many of the world's organizations, corporations, governments have longevity and vast resources. They are well established. Many imams and other leaders in our community do not have the longevity they have. So it's much harder for us to be convincing and at the same time attract people. It is Allah that has the greatest longevity, and it will be Allah that remains after all else passes away. People of faith should ask the question, who profits from our disunity? Who profits from our disorganization? Who profits from when we fail in our humanity? Who profits? Who's actually making something? Who's getting some benefit from that? As Muslims, we should also ask, who is our true enemy? You may know of family and friends who say you don't worship or believe in the same God they do. Perhaps in their minds, according to their understanding, we are going to hell, if not already in it. We see the destruction of Muslim countries right in front of our faces, and we see the pitting of people of faith against one another. We see the dumbing down in society. So we say Al-Islam is a leadership paradigm. It's a leadership shift, shifting back to the believer, shifting back to those who believe in God, those who believe in a higher power, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For those who believe, Allah has honored us and is constantly raising us up. We are all descendants of Adam, created to lead, created with honor, nobility. We are the inheritors of Allah's teaching and Allah's will. This makes us creatures of substance. Therefore, Allah made the heavens and the earth yield its resources to humanity, to mankind. So Allah didn't create us to succumb to mediocrity and sin or complacency. Allah, He says that He honored us so much, He says to the angels, and when I have fashioned him who? Adam we're referring to, or the Khalifa we're referring to, or humanity, and breathe into him of my spirit. Allah says in the Quran, fall you down in obeisance. Obey Him. So we, as Muslims, we are the leaders and the future leaders. If we measure up to the nobility and the honor, the integrity, that Allah intended for us to have as human beings when He created Adam. Allah, we have to understand, Allah says that He taught Adam. That's significant. When Allah says that He taught Adam, who is Adam? Allah says He taught him Himself. That takes on a whole different perspective, being taught. And Allah says, as we mentioned earlier, قَدْ كَرَمْنَا كُلِّ بَنِي Adam, that He has made noble and dignified all of the descendants of Adam. We're not born as sinners. We're born to be leaders, and we're born to succeed. Alhamdulillah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ameen.